Hi everyone. Today we will be discussing a new topic of the chapter Complex Numbers and Quadratic Equations, and the topic is Argand plane, which is also known as complex plane. Now suppose you have a complex number z equal to x plus iy. We can relate this x plus iy to an ordered pair x comma y, that is the real part is written here comma the imaginary part written. Okay, that means you will get an ordered pair x comma y which can be represented on the xy plane, right? That means if I have 3 plus, suppose 3 plus 4i or i4 as a complex number, then 3 comma 4 will be the ordered pair associated with the complex number which can be represented on the xy plane. Here you can see an xy plane, and I'm just marking that 3 comma 4 ordered pair on the plane so that I'm getting this point as 3 comma 4. That means this is a vice versa process. If you have a point on the xy plane 3 comma 4, then the complex number corresponding to this ordered pair will be of the form 3 plus 4i or 3 plus i4. Now considering for another example, if you have minus 4 minus 2i, so that will be corresponding to minus 4 comma minus 2 in the xy plane. Minus 4 comma minus 2 will be where? Here, minus 4 comma minus 2. Okay, now if you have another point, suppose z is equal to 1 minus 3i, that will be corresponding to 1 comma minus 3. 1 comma minus 3 will be this point. Okay, and again if you have to get in the other quadrant, suppose I am taking minus 2 plus I, so it will be corresponding to minus 2 comma 1. I means its imaginary part is 1, so it is minus 2 comma 1, so it will be minus 2 comma 1 this point. So likewise, if points are given, you can just make complex number out of that. So that is a vice versa process. If this is a complex number, it will be the ordered pair corresponding to that complex number given, and you can mark it on the xy plane. Okay, and this xy plane where you have marked the complex number as the ordered pair, correspondingly ordered pair, that plane is known as Argand plane or complex plane. That means a plane having a complex number assigned to each of its points is called a complex plane or an Argand plane. Now we know that what is modulus of a complex number. Modulus of a complex number, suppose this is x plus iy, the complex number. The modulus of x plus iy, we know that it is root of x square plus y square. Root of real part square plus imaginary part square. And the meaning of this is, what is the meaning of root of x square plus y square is, it is the distance between the point, general point x comma y and the origin 0 0. Okay, and the origin 0 0. Between these 2 points, the distance is given to be the modulus value. That means if this is your plane, suppose this is your origin, let p x comma y be any point on the plane, then this will be your root of x square plus y square. Okay, this is the distance between origin 0 0 and p x comma y point. Now any point on the x-axis is denoted as, generally you know this is a comma 0. Any point on the x-axis will be of the form a comma 0, and that point can be correspondingly written in the complex number form as a plus I0. Now you know that any point on the y-axis is of the form 0 comma b, and correspondingly that 0 comma b can be written as a complex number as 0 plus ib. Okay. Now in the Argand plane, the x-axis is called the real axis. Why? Because we are just mentioning the first coordinate as the real part. Okay, and the y-axis in the Argand plane is called the imaginary axis. Imaginary axis because the imaginary part is actually notated by the y coordinate. Okay, so you have two axes, real axis and imaginary axis in the Argand plane. Now talking about the conjugate of a complex number. Conjugate of a complex number, suppose z is the complex number taken as x plus iy, then the conjugate of z equal to x plus iy is given by z bar, which is x minus iy. That means you will just change the imaginary part with the opposite sign. Okay, now x plus y is corresponding to the ordered pair x comma y in the Argand plane. And what about x minus iy, which is the conjugate? It will be your x comma minus y in the Argand plane. So when we just mark, suppose this is your x comma y on the Argand plane, x comma minus y, which is the conjugate of x plus iy, will be at the same distance here downward, x comma minus y. Okay, so what we can say is this will be acting as the mirror image. That means z bar, or the conjugate of a complex number, is the mirror image of the complex number. Conjugate z bar is the mirror image of the complex number z every time. Okay, so this distance will be like same downward. That is, when you see this is x, y downward minus y. Okay, so it will be acting as a, if this is real line or real axis is acting as the mirror, this will be the image of this point and vice versa. Next topic is quadratic equations. Now we are just considering a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where you can say that a, b, c all are real numbers with a not equal to 0. Then only it will be a quadratic equation. Okay, so in this case we are just assuming that if you have b square minus 4ac is less than 0. So in earlier classes you have studied that if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, you will say that the quadratic equation has no real roots. But since now we have studied what is a complex number, here we can go for the solutions of this type of quadratic equation also, in which the discriminant is less than 0. Now how we will solve? The solution for ax square plus bx plus c is given as, in your quadratic formula, it is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. And what we are saying is b square minus 4ac is less than 0. That is, it is a negative quantity. So what we are doing is that negative quantity is taken as root of minus 1, which is I. And this will become I into root of 4ac minus b square by 2a. So this is your solution if you have your discriminant to be negative or less than 0. Next thing is the fundamental theorem of algebra. And fundamental theorem of algebra says that a polynomial equation has at least one root. That means minimum one root a polynomial equation will have. And from this fundamental theorem, a result comes out, and that result is very important, which is a polynomial equation of degree n has n roots. That means if you are having a quadratic equation, that means it is of degree 2, you will have 2 roots for the quadratic equation. Either it can be distinct and real, or it can be 2 equal roots, or it can be imaginary roots also. Okay.